Their credit, they battled back, put us on the defensive really, and to be honest with you, I'm just super proud of our guys for battling back after giving up 8 unanswered really, and just kind of all the momentum had shifted, and I'm like, wow, go from them being dead in the water to I feel like we're almost dead in the water, and then they continue to battle and continue to fight and put up a 4 spot and steal that one. So I just was super proud of those guys for continuing to battle and not give in, be resilient, and good things can happen. So I was just super proud of them.
Were you surprised with the performance of a lot of the guys in the bullpen, considering the day of rest and a lot of light work from yesterday that a couple guys struggled to locate?
Never like to have guys walk guys, and just they've been asked to do a lot. So I try to take that into consideration. In the heat of the moment, I'm pulling my hair out, but when I have a minute to reflect on it afterwards, those guys have been taxed quite a bit. It's a lot to ask these guys to go multiple innings on Friday and then come back on Sunday and do the same thing. I think we're learning that as a staff, that what these guys are capable of doing, and when to try to get them out of there, and not to overextend them too much. Again, that's a learning curve for me, a learning curve for Sammy, and learning our guys. So those are obviously coming into today's game. We thought everybody's fresh and healthy, and we're going to be in pretty good shape. And then you see the ball come out of a lot of guys. It's like, oof, that doesn't look like the crispness that it normally is. So we just got to limp through and try to get to the finish line somehow. So, but these guys battle. They continue to give everything they got, and that's all I can ask for.
Last night you mentioned that you were expecting a quality start out of Adam, and it had been some time since we have seen some from him. And today he definitely, I think, delivered on that before the 2 runs that came in before you yanked it. But what did you see from him today, and how would you assess his performance?
I think he made a step in the right direction. He threw the ball better. It came out better. He threw with more conviction, trusted his changeup a little bit better today, was locating a little bit better as a whole. He still walked, I think, 3 guys, but at the end of the day, he threw the ball better. His mound presence was better, body language, all that stuff, tempo. He just looked a lot better today. I know he wanted to keep going. We just felt at that point in time that maybe starting to lose steam, and we didn't want to take him out of turn it from a positive performance into a negative one. We wanted to just kind of keep it right there, and we felt that Bod gave us a good matchup against that guy. Threw 1 pitch, got a double play. So that's all we can ask really out of Bod, to get us out of a jam right there. But all in all, totally, I thought he threw the ball better today and improved definitely. So I still think there's more in there, but he definitely made a step in the right direction.
Coach, the team's early offense in the 3rd and 4th inning came differently. In the 3rd, it looked like you guys were just stringing together hits, and that set up the runs. In the 4th, a lot more patience came into play, and you guys took 3 bases, setting up the sac fly and the wild pitch score. Ask Ryan Campbell's this, but other than looking for the fastball, making sure you don't miss that, what else have you kind of given them as far as advice to try and balance aggression and patience?
Convicted on what you're doing. Having a plan of attack. Don't just go up and swing and see the ball and swing it. Trying to actually have an idea what you're trying to look for. Understanding, we have hitters meetings before every game, and understand what the starting pitcher, what his tendencies are and what pitches he throws. Not try to overload them with information, but just give them enough to where, okay, this guy has a decent sinker. We got to make the ball be up. Anything below the belt, we got to let go, because if it's down, it's probably going to be a ball. If it's high, let it fly type thing. So just giving them something simple, but at least some knowledge to what to look for when they're up there. I think they've done a lot better job of laying off, as a whole, laying off breaking balls down. Where early on we were just swinging to swing and had no plan of attack, and it's the adjustments they've made. We're still not there yet, but they're doing a much better job of not chasing those type of pitches down and away. So just kind of giving them a basic plan of attack, but yet staying aggressive to that. And it seemed a lot of these guys are taking it to heart and having much better at bats as a whole.
During their comeback between the double steal and then later on, man on second, one out, they stole third. A couple key just stolen bases. Is that something where you felt like you guys were caught a little by surprise, or just good jumps by them?
The double steal, I got out coached right there. I thought I didn't think he was bunting, but he squared and Ethan kind of charged, and they set up a good double steal. They got me on that one. The next one, I saw the guy trying to time it, and I even yelled before the pitch, stop his feet. And I think our champ had said he had an inside move called, but as a freshman, I said, told him, I said, you can't leave that to doubt. If he's not picking you up and he doesn't give the response, you have to make sure to go in and wring his neck. Like, that's your job as a middle infielder, to not let him continue moving his feet toward third base and get momentum. So I saw that one plain as day. But if I'm being perfectly transparent, the double steal, they caught me. I was not expecting a double steal right there, and they took me by surprise, and I think took everybody by surprise with no outs. It's a gamble, but he got me. So tip my hat to him.
Before Joe's home run, Brock said in the bullpen that he was mentally preparing for that. If he were able to take the lead, that he was going to be ready to go in. Given the pattern of the other bullpen arms, did you have any hesitation or any doubt at all that giving him Brock the opportunity in the ninth that he'd be able to close it out?
No. We talked about it last night. He was Brock wants to finish every game that he goes in, and he, I think, was a little disappointed that I took him out yesterday. And I told him there's a reason why I took him out yesterday, is that I didn't want those two right-handers to get on, and I said, I'm going to need you tomorrow, and I need you to stay fresh. I don't need you going out throwing 20 pitches tomorrow and then being dead for today, but I do want those two right-handers out. And then we were going to have the plan to bring Webby in yesterday in order to keep both those guys available and fresh for today in case we needed him. So I told Sammy before the inning, if we tie it or take the lead, Brock's in for the ninth. It's his game. Lampy hit the homer, and everything broke loose there for a minute. I was trying to get McLean to come over and talk to me and waste some time to give him a minute to get loose. But that was the plan. And had I not had intentions of him closing out a game today, I would have let him throw as many pitches as he wanted to yesterday. But I thought it was imperative to not give them any life yesterday and have him come and face the two righties and have Webby finish it off. Again, I don't mind if players disagree with what I do. That's totally fine. But there's usually somewhat of at least a thought process. I'm not always going to be right. And I told him that yesterday. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. I made mistakes today that bit me a little bit. But at the end of the day, there is some sort of thought process behind what I'm doing. And that was that I wanted him available today to close it out if necessary.
You told me after first game of the season that you understand why all your managers went gray as fast as they did. I like to kind of watch you in the later innings when there's relievers in the game. It seems like it's pretty high stress. Do you still feel that, or think you even underestimated it a little bit?
I thought it would get easier, but it gets harder. These just a matter of learning your players better, understanding situations more. Like I said, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, and I understand that. These guys pick me up a lot of times from the mistakes that I make, and I appreciate that. But yeah, from a standpoint of the high leverage situations, I haven't learned to calm myself down a lot yet in those, and I feel the emotion with them. And part of what we talked about in there afterwards is, in some way, shape, or form, this is why we do what we do. This is why I came back to do this, to feel that kind of that rush again, that only you get when you're in the heat of the moment. I was kind of emotional after today's game, just because it was very, very cool to see how they responded to getting knocked down, getting punched in the mouth. And they came back and showed me something today, and I just kind of related it to life. No matter what you're doing in business or a marriage or whatever it might be, you keep fighting, you keep grinding, no matter what, and you keep pushing. And these guys showed me a lot today, which was very cool. But for me, from an emotion standpoint, I got to try to kind of keep calm in those moments and make the right decisions. But I'd be lying if I said sometimes that the situation gets the best of me and things start speeding up. But I think that's why I got guys next to me that I trust that can help me through those situations.
From the top of the eighth to the bottom of the eighth, after USC got that 3 spot, there's some errors in the 6th and the 8th. What was the emotion of the team like? Did you have a message for them? And then, like you just alluded to, I mean, the response. Did you see that response coming in the dugout in between innings?
I started sensing it when SC put up 2 in the 5th. I kind of felt like we started giving some at-bats away offensively, and I felt like the intensity kind of died down a little bit, like we had this game won. I felt it, and maybe that's why I got a little bit frustrated, because I sensed the momentum, like this game is not over. We got to finish the job. And then they put up 2 in the 6th, and we continued to kind of put together poor at-bats. And seeing baseball as long as I have, as much as I have, you just feel that momentum, and there's not much you can do. And you want them to like shake them and say, dude, this game is not going to go how you want it to unless we get a fire lit under our butt again. And then they take the lead, and then the 3-run 8th, and it's just like we miss a pop-up and just start playing poorly. And I'm like, man, went from happy weekend to ash chewing time after this game. Because we didn't know how to finish. And then, like I said, sometimes you get surprised. Not surprised as a coach, but you get proud, I guess, for lack of a better term, because they showed me something today and responded. And I didn't have to say anything. They took it upon themselves. Connor, Campy, those guys, the leaders in that dugout, I didn't say a word. They just started grinding. They knew what they had to do. Campy got on base, and it was like there was a fire that was lit. Let's go. We're doing this. And pretty cool how they responded. I was very, very happy, proud, emotional, whole thing. Lampy hits the homer. I'm going nuts. It's crazy, and I guess that's why we do what we do, is to experience these emotional highs.
Your 4, you want to go again? Sure.
Coach, I want to look back at this week. If you include both the Santa Clara and the series, you guys outscored your opponents 52-23. What does that say not about the growth of your offense, but the growth of your team in general?
Just starting to mature and understand that they don't have to do everything themselves, I think is the biggest thing. Just put together a good at-bat, and don't try to be the hero or hit the homer yourself. It's just get on base and put together good at-bats. And what is a good at-bat, and defining what that means. It doesn't mean hitting a homer all the time. It means sometimes it might mean a 10-pitch at-bat, but you get out. It's a great at-bat. You foul off guy, and that wears a pitcher down more than anything. And so taking a walk, spitting on tough pitches, not swinging out of the zone, those are what we view as a quality at-bats. And just continuing to ingrain that in these guys, that a good at-bat does not always result in a base hit. It results in you taking something out of that guy on the mound and being stubborn to your pitch. And these guys are really starting to take that to heart, I think. And if you swing out of the zone and get yourself out early in the count, that's on you. That's a poor at-bat. But really getting your pitch and being aggressive to it and being on time, all that type of stuff is, it goes to maturing as a hitter, maturing as a baseball player, and I think a lot of these guys, top to bottom, are starting to understand that a little bit better. And when you put all that together and you start having a team offense, it's kind of fun when you can start hitting and running and using different things for different guys, and it becomes a much more fun lineup to manage.
4-0 now against schools that you've said you're not too fond of. You got 3 big ones coming up this weekend, not to look past Tucson on Tuesday. How excited are you to get down to Tucson next weekend and kind of into enemy territory and try to get a series win down there?
I don't know if I'd ever say I'm excited to go to Tucson. I'll just go ahead and throw that out there. We got to take care of business on Tuesday, certainly, but after Tuesday we'll start planning for U of A. I'm sure that'll be a emotional series as well, but we got business to take care of on Tuesday first.
Coach, how would you characterize Brock Perry's development? He wasn't either of the 2 options for closer at the start of the season. It seemed that it was going to be Levine and Webster. Now he's really embracing that role, finishing games, you said, for the team. Where's he at right now compared to the start of the season?
we always kind of viewed him as being in a high leverage situation at some point in time, more because he can get us a ground ball double play with his sinker. But the mentality has evolved into somebody that wants the ball in that tough situation. And maybe he's always wanted that, but me learning players and understanding being around him, who can handle those situations and who, early on, people thought I was crazy when I was putting him out there, and he had a tough couple outings to start the year, and yet I'm still running him out there. But you kind of just understand the kid and understand and learn him and what he's capable of doing mentally, and the fact that he takes ownership for the things that he does and is like, yeah, I want to get better and continue to grind, and he wants the ball in those situations. It's like that. It takes a guy to get punched in the mouth and then want the ball again in that same situation, and that's something, like I said, it's going to take me a bit to learn this game and learn who the guys are that I can trust in those situations, but he's the guy that wants that ball in that situation, and to me that's 3/4 of the battle, is wanting the ball in the big situation to finish it out and not being scared of the situation and just going out and trusting his stuff, and he's done a great job.
Also curious, what, if anything, have you told him after rough outings? Because Coach Bronze has mentioned that he's got a passion to him, so he takes those rough outings pretty tough. What has kind of been the continuous message for him after those kinds of appearances? Just
trust your stuff. Go attack the zone. Let the deception play. These hitters aren't used to seeing that a whole lot. Guys from different arm angles, and just trust it. And usually when he gets hit, it's over the middle of the plate. And so it's just remember. I talked to all of our pitchers the other day. Just that from a hitter's standpoint, I understand that it's tough to do anything with a down and away fastball. It never gets old. If you can hit that spot, it's tough to do anything with. You might hit a single, but you aren't going to get hurt too bad. If you can locate down and away with the fastball, you're going to be okay. And that's a tough pitch to do much with, so focus our sights back down in the zone, get down to the bottom of the zone versus in the middle of the zone, which we were on Friday. You're going to be okay when you're down there. So the message for him, same thing, is let that sinker play, stay down in the zone, and don't get beat in the middle. And when he does that, I'll put my money on him.
It's kind of felt like over the course of the season, especially as you guys have gotten a lot better over the last month, you'll get on these 2 or 3 game win streaks, and then there'll be the 4th game where something goes wrong, something unravels, and then you have to build those win streaks back up over again. It felt like today was going along with that same script. You build up the big lead, you lose the big lead with 8 runs, and then you come back and win it. I mean, does it kind of feel like now you're on the open road, you've hit a couple green lights, you can get on a bit of a run now with the team, you got momentum, your sales, all those cliches?
I hope so. It's college baseball. These guys are 19 to 22 years old for the most part. You're going to have emotional highs, emotional lows. Your guys aren't always going to do what they're designed to do, for that matter. But, the biggest thing for me is I think they're starting to sense the belief that we can do this. As long as we play for the guy next to us instead of playing for the individual, we got a shot. We start continuing to be a bunch of individuals, we're going to crumble. But and I think we were at that point after Stanford, to where it was gut check time. You're going to play for the guy next to you, or are we going to start becoming a bunch of individuals and playing for ours, and that's just going to be it. I think they made it a point to say, yeah, we're in this thing. We can still do this. We got to go. We got to go now. But I think they understand that something special can still happen, as long as we play together as a team and everybody does their part and play in the same direction. Like I said, I'll put my money on them any day of the week. And for that matter, I think they believe in each other, and they're starting to see that if you don't give in and do things the right way, good stuff can happen. So this weekend was a big step in the right direction in that belief process, and hopefully we can continue it on a good streak.
Coach, typically when you've had those Tuesday games with you playing on Sunday, say tomorrow's an off day, there's no game Monday again. From a pitching perspective, throwing 7 runs today, does that extra day really allow you to reset and line up who you want Tuesday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday as well?
More important, it just gives guys an extra day of rest. Again, our arms the guys we've been using a lot, and we understand that. So this extra day of rest is big for them, big for us as a staff. We should have most guys available on Tuesday, to come and get work in and do their job according to what the situation calls for. But yeah, have the extra off day today, on Sunday, and then Monday again. It's going to be big for our staff just to take a deep breath, recover a little bit, and then hopefully we play well on Tuesday, and then they'll have a couple days to get ready for the weekend. So it works out now that the weekend's over. It works out good.
Thanks, Coach.